Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Torchwood review. And today's story is a day in death. So, what is a day in death about? Well, Owen Harper finds himself reconciling with the fact that 24 hours ago he was shot right through the chest. Bang! Split point. Then he woke up on a operation table, was brought back to life, and now he finds himself standing on a roof next to a woman who wants to commit suicide. He essentially, throughout this whole episode, comes the kind of Deadpool of the Torchwood universe. Now, anyone who's wondering why am I referencing Deadpool, well, there's a comic book out there for those in the know, which essentially has Deadpool stand on a roof, and because he's pretty much eternally dying of cancer, Deadpool points out to this young woman that he thinks that there is a reason for life worth living. I mean, after all, he's constantly dying, so if death's already caught him, then who cares if she jumps? She's only going to be hurting herself. And essentially, Owen Harper does the exact same in this. Owen Harper gets on the top of a roof and talks to this woman, and she's like, "You're not going to stop me from jumping." She's very suicidal about all the things that's happening in her life. And Owen Harper says, "Go on then, jump." And then he scares her, similarly to many people, Deadpool and otherwise, in many films, when it comes to suicide. He scares her by pushing her to the point and asking her if she's going to jump. After all, why waste time when it comes to suicide? Why not just do it? And then he begins to tell her a story, to which she gets agitated and frustrated and begins to talk to him about the fact that she believes he's being a bit too cynical. And then he kind of opens up his chest and shows her where the bullet hit him. He explains to her that due to his condition and the fact that he can walk beyond senses, he decided to break into an old man's house one day, remembering an artifact that should never have been in the guy's possession. Now the old geezer mutters to Owen, saying that if the artifact is ever taken away, he will essentially die. Owen begins to point out to him that yes, that is very true, but only ever so slightly. It turns out that the artifact that the old man had picked up was actually, in fact, a gift from a lost spaceship. This gift had been retrieved and was merely just calming the guy down. It wasn't stopping him from dying. Now, the old geezer does die, not necessarily of thing, but of heartbreak. And Owen points out that the point of the story is the fact that the magical space artifact wasn't what was keeping him from dying. What was truly keeping him from dying was hope. And Owen points out to this woman on the roof that where there is hope, there is life. Now, this isn't any sanctimonious mission to stop her from killing herself, but it's certainly a principle. The whole story revolves around this principle, trying to get this woman to really question her motives and whether or not she really deserves to die. Does she want to jump off a building? Does she want to drown herself? Does she want to hang herself with a rope? I know these are all things that people in the world see as morbid, dark, and gloomy things. But if you take it from a Gothic point of view, a Satanist point of view, and most importantly, if you take it from a point of view of people who have tried to commit suicide many times over the years, then you end up back in this mind frame of exactly what this episode is trying to prove to you. People who want to commit suicide, they never forget. They never stop thinking about death. They just accept it. I mean, for instance, if you've ever watched the film The Crow, then you understand that Eric Draven, he's dead. He's accepted he's dead. He even jokes about it when he sees a hole in his hand. The other thing Eric Draven does in that movie is he wakes people up to the idea that you can die any day of smoking, drinking, alcohol, falling off of roofs, being shot in the chest, being stabbed. But the most important thing is accepting when your death comes. It's not about being afraid. It's about letting fear go. It's about understanding that tomorrow you might not wake up. Tomorrow you might find yourself in a position in which you get hurt. But accepting that those things can happen makes death easier. And that's exactly what this story is all about. It's about helping someone understand that maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe a week's time, maybe you could get hit by a bus. But there is always a chance that you may be able to live just a little longer. Just for a little longer. And that is why I give A Day in Death a solid 10 out of 10. It perfectly highlights those qualities and perfectly kind of wakes people up to the real world and helps them see the madness behind their decisions. We all have indecision. We all worry. We all overthink sometimes. But overthinking is not necessarily a bad thing. It just kind of means that you've woken up from that dark dream. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Torchwood review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.